Yes, my beautiful people, what is going on? It's creamslice. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to be keeping it 100 with you guys today, and I'm going to be bringing you 2 of the best warlock builds in season 21. Of course, in my humble opinion, as an average player and a part-time player at best, these builds have helped me achieve the Conqueror seal. Not bragging rights, I'm not bragging, I'm just kind of letting you guys know how powerful they are in their own rights, and they can definitely help you achieve this seal as well. These builds, in my opinion, are undefeated in their own rights. Both have set capabilities, enhanced capabilities, so hopefully this video helps you. There will be a full dim link down below of both builds. All I ask from you guys is a quick like and subscribe if you're feeling funky. Let's get the builds. So I'm running Chaos Reach with this build because it is now top tier and it jolts everything. I'm using ball lightning and flashbang grenades because it's going to blind everything and stun unstoppables for us. As for the aspects, electrostatic mind, defeating enemies with any arc ability is going to create ionic traces feeding into our abilities, and it's also going to make us amplified, and we can gain a host of perks from the artifact with that. Then we've got Arc Soul. While we are amplified, our Arc Souls are supercharged. They gain increased fire rate and damage. Definitely amazing for solo and team-based play. We've got Spark of Resistance. While we are surrounded, we get damage resist. Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace, feeding into more abilities and supers. We have Spark of Haste. We have great increase, resilience, recovery and mobility while sprinting. This is going to work perfect with the exotic that we have. Then we've got Spark of Shock. Our arc grenades now jolt targets, so with flashbang grenades and Spark of Shock we can stun unstoppable champions and overload champions. On the helmet, we're starting with Arc Siphon and Kinetic Siphon and Acid to Assets, creating more supers with grenade kills and orbs of power with our weapons. On the gauntlets, we have Bolstering Detonation ×2 and Focusing Strike, so defeating enemies with grenades is going to refund us class ability, and defeating enemies with our melee is also going to create us class ability energy. Then we have the Vesper Radius. Meta! It is meta. I called it out at the start of the season. So our rifts now periodically release arc shock waves, and we get a hefty amount of regen rate depending on how many enemies we are surrounded by. The more enemies, the faster recharge rate we have with our rifts. So these shock waves create arc explosions, and they also blind anything that comes inside your rift, making it absolutely top tier now for endgame. On the boots, we've got elemental charge, so when we pick up them ionic traces, they're going to give us armor charges. Then we can spend them with our weapon surges, with our weapons giving us 17% damage increase. Then on the class item, we have double bomber mod and distribution. So as you were going to be using the Vesper Radius in close proximity of enemies, you're also going to be reaping the rewards from distribution and bomber, leading into more grenade energy and more melee energy and faster supers. With this build, I like to use Cold Heart or Nezareth's Whisper. You're going to get more ionic traces with the Cold Heart, and it's good for overloads as well. So we'll get into the artifact really quickly. Amped Up, stay amplified for longer. Thunderous Retort is going to give us a bonus arc super damage when we use it when we're critical. Electric Armor is going to give us an increased damage resist while we're amplified, which is really easy with the warlock because we're always amplified. Then we have Shock and Awe. Arc Final blows while we are amplified. Summon a burst of lightning and jolts everything, and lightning strikes twice. Throwing a grenade, we gain an increased grenade recharge rate for a short time. So that's going to cover the first build, guys. Make sure you have your discipline and your resilience as high as possible. So as we are on the classic Void Walker, still top tier, we're using a Cataclysm, we're using the Vortex Grenade for that pull and suction. For the aspects with this, you're going to want to use Chaos Accelerant. Vortex grenades have increased size and linger duration. Then we have Feed the Void, defeating a target with a void ability grants Devour, as we're always going to be doing that with the setup that we have. Fragments is going to be totally your preference with Void. As you all know, it's been around for a long time, but the artifact now takes it to the next level. So don't be discouraged with the fragments that I have. Swap any out that suits your playstyle. I'm using Echo of Instability, grenade kills, grants our weapons volatile rounds. We have Echo of Undermining. We're going to debuff our enemies by 15% when we use our grenade to weaken them. Then we have Echo of Expulsion. Void ability final blows causes enemies to explode. Then we have Echo of Remnants. Our grenades last longer. We are using the ever so faithful Controverse hold. Why? Because in endgame this holds its own compared to Nezarex's Verity's Brow. You need to get kills with them exotics to start the chain of command. With Controverse hold, all you need to do is get a grenade hit to refund amazing amounts of grenade energy. Plus it's going to give you damage resist when you are charging your grenade as well. So for the helmet, we are using Void Siphon, double assets to assets, because it's going to be a grenade focused build. You're going to be getting insanely fast supers. On the Controverse hold, we have double grenade kickstart. When we expend our grenade energy and we have armor charges, it's going to give us extra grenade energy. And then we have bolstering detonation feeding into our class ability energy. On the chest piece, we've got charged up and some resistance mods. Charged up allows us to hold more armor charges. On the boots, we have elemental charge. We're going to be creating void breaches with the artifact that we have. Elemental charge allows us to have armor charges when we pick up void breaches. Picking up the void breach you can either use on spending it with your grenades or void weapon surges. Double them up, you're going to get a 17% damage increase with your void weapons. On the class item, we've got double bomber and distribution like the previous art build. It doesn't change. You throw your rift down, you get hefty amounts of grenade energy, supers and melee with distribution. As for weapons, choose any void weapon that you're comfortable with that suits the activity. I was using the lemon art because it has overload stun, poison arrows, and when you have volatile rounds proccing with this, it is mental. So the artifact is where the true power of the void lot begins in season 21. It will change next season, but like I said, both of these builds are gonna resist the test of time. The first artifact mod is going to be Onto the Breach. Defeating a void debuff target creates a void breach. As we know, with Echo of Undermining and our void grenades, we're always going to be debuffing enemies, so you're going to pick that up and you're going to have an overshield with protective breach. So every time you pick up a void breach, it's going to give you an overshield or refresh your existing one. And then just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Supernova takes weakening to a whole new level. Picking up a void breach causes your next source of void damage to create a large weakening pulse, whether that being with your vortex grenade, your melee or your void weapons. So that is going to cover both build guides. As I always say, discipline and resilience first, then spec into recovery. So yeah, that is my take on the two best builds in season 21 for warlocks. Let me know if you want a Titan one or a Hunter one. I'm Creamslice. Happy farming. Peace.